إذن هي أوسع جلسة عصف فكري أو برين ستورمينج حول العالم. على هامشها التقيت المدير العام لمنتدى الاقتصاد العالمي لهاول، وسألته أولا عن أبرز الطروحات الاستراتيجية التي أبصرت النور في قمة المجالس لهذا العام.
Indeed, it's quite exceptional with 1,000 experts here. I would beg to say it's almost the world's biggest think tank as well. The concerns are very much around the same things that we all share, which is really the future, of course, the global economy, the global environment, and of course, even global security. But specifically, I think one area that's quite interesting is really the relationship between employment, education, and entrepreneurship. There's a big concern in the world, in all parts of the world, that the unemployment issue is very much structural, that it's not necessarily a cyclical phenomenon, and you're going to have to make adjustments, not just in the employment environment, but also educational systems so that we're skilled properly, but also where are the future sources of employment going to be? The state, in many instances, many economies, no longer has the resources to provide most of the jobs, either through state-owned enterprises or through government job programs. So this nexus, what we call the 3 E's of employment, education, entrepreneurship, very much a focus. Still very much a big discussion around the global governance system itself. We're seeing now that in parts of the world, the failure to actually come to grips with climate change, we're actually seeing extreme weather patterns. We saw that in the United States and such, which will increase in frequency. How do we adapt to the reality of climate change? There's also issues around global governments that are on the basics around trade and investment. As countries, some struggle, will they become more protectionist? Will political discussions be more nationalistic? That's one thing. Now on the upside, there's some phenomenal things happening in the area of technology and on innovation, and people are looking at those innovations and how can we actually bring it back onto the top of the agenda, because actually at the end of the day, as much as we focus on risk, we have to focus on opportunities.
Against this context, why have you chosen resilient dynamism to be the theme of Davos next year?
Well, it represents the duality we live in. We would say today we're in the most interdependent global economy that that we've ever had in human history. But that interdependence also leads to vulnerabilities, and it's quite fragile. So we focus quite a bit on really the next shock. So US economic shock a few years ago, then we're concerned about the Eurozone, but there always seems to be another shock looming around the corner. And there's no way we're going to manage and mitigate them. But how can we become more resilient? They're going to happen. How do can we recover more? So there is an importance to focus on resilience, because next time it might not be financial markets, it may be Mother Nature, it could be a pandemic, it could be a hurricane, one never knows, but there will be shocks. So we need to focus on resilience. But at the same time, if you're only focused around risk, where will the opportunity be? Where will the inspiration be? You have to be dynamic. And the dynamism is important. That's where that inspires generations of people to start new careers, new enterprises. So there has to be a dynamic part of the story. And I would sum it up to why we picked resilient dynamism. It's counterintuitive, but actually to deal with the risks that we have today, leaders actually have to take risks. That's really the most effective, is to take some risks, to search out new opportunities. That's probably the best remedy for what we see as a very uncertain world.